You are listening to the Two Writers Walk Into a Bar podcast. In every episode, our goal is to help, inspire, and celebrate authors' journey to publication by reading and critiquing query letters, then tackle a writing topic we hope you find helpful. Welcome to the show, Two Writers Walk Into a Bar podcast. We are Angela and Ken, critique partners in real life, and your hosts. We have new episodes dropping every other Wednesday. Now let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to Two Writers Walk Into a Bar. Hey Ken.
Hey, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're back to our regular program. Our last episode was our Halloween special. Halloween's over and it's Christmas. If you can see, I decorated my little
Oh, yeah.
tree.
I decorated too. I have the same books behind me.
Oh,
Wait,
nice.
there you go.
Oh, very good. Very nice. Hey,
That's
love
right.
it.
But I turned the red and green ones forward.
Oh, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So what are you drinking? Your
The old
favorite?
classic, yeah.
So I went out to the store and I got me some eggnog and brandy.
Oh, nice. There you go.
So cheers
Moab
to that. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I need this.
Hmm.
Been a long week.
Oh my gosh, really? Oh man. Well, hopefully we'll be quick tonight because Ken's got plans.
Oh, yeah. I got shit to do. But that's okay. How was your week?
My week was good. It was pretty dead. I didn't really do much just other than working and just, trying to
That's
get
cool.
that Christmas shopping in.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is.
I got most of mine done.
You did? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Damn.
I
Okay.
know.
Well, I got a few
No,
things.
I still have a few people. Obviously, I have like 5 people left to buy stuff for. Maybe 6.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I
Oh.
got like the other 6 done, and I'm happy about that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I just barely started this week.
Oh, nice.
So, but anyway, guys, we have a query today that we're gonna go over here a little bit, and we'll talk about that, and then we have a topic we're just gonna. Hey, writer friends, querying is hard, and putting together a query letter is even harder. We want to help. Send us your query letter and first 3 pages to our email at twowritersinabar@gmail.com. And we'll read your query on air and give feedback on your first pages. And don't forget to tell us where we can find you on social media so we can share it with all our listeners. We want to help, inspire, and celebrate with you on your writing journey. That's tonight. So I'm going to get right into it. This was sent to us by Jackson G. McGrath. So I'm going to just go into it. Marian has spent her 17 years of life trying to be anything besides the center of attention. That becomes harder when her friend pushes Marian into dyeing her hair pink. While the spotlight might be scary, I think he means scary here. What she should really be scared of is in the shadows. Strange men are scouring her neighborhood and taking every opportunity to threaten her safety. Detectives are appearing to pester her with strange questions, and everything is tying back to the mythical figure Baba Yaga. Marian forces on keeping herself safe, but things are about to go from strange to supernatural. Will she be able to keep her calm and claw her way back to normality, or will the strangeness and her own anxiety overcome her and drag her into the shadows? Running might help, but she can't hide with pink hair. Redacted is a YA urban fantasy tale of 67,000 words. As a neurodivergent person, I have always wanted to see a protagonist that solves their problems not by overcoming their mental struggle, but by learning to manage it. Marian will resonate with readers who deal anxiety and know you can't just get over it. The story will also draw interest from those interested in themes of power through unity, cycles of violence, and oppression at the intersection of books like The Dresden Files and The Skullduggery Pleasant. The novel can even tempt those readers back with its series potential. I'm a longtime English as second language teacher, and that job has allowed me to not only understand the intricacies of our language, but also interact with my novel's target demographic of high school students. I've also kept my finger on reading habits through posting and interacting with Book Talk, braving the questions about my surely imminent death by being over 30 from TikTok's normal age range. Maybe if we can work together to get my work published, the TikTokers will be sad about my decrepit state. Thank you for your time and consideration, Jackson G. McGrath. Okay, so this query comes in at 334 words, so it's pretty good. Um, I Jackson, I like the beginning. Marion has spent her 17 years of life trying to be anything besides the center of attention. I do like that part of her character. We always say here to start with the hook, so that's a good start to a hook.
It is.
It's a good start. The next thing you say is that becomes harder when her friend pushes Marion into dyeing her hair pink. And I understand that teenagers deal with peer pressure, but I would love for there to be like a reason. Like why does she allow this friend to push her into dyeing her hair pink? Like is her I don't know. I don't know if it has something to do with
Agreed.
like I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
Oh no, 100% agree there. Like, there, I would like a reason to why her
Yes.
friend pushed her. Like, did they lose the big volleyball game, or give us a reason, or like
Yeah.
what pushes her friend to push Marion after all this time. Sorry.
And that will also give insight to Marion as the character. That'll give us a little bit more about her. But
Hmm.
which I think is fine. Um, One thing that we always say here is you should always put in your query, what does your character want more than anything before the story takes off, before that inciting incident that like makes your character have to get involved. What is it that your character wants? I don't see that here. All I see is that she doesn't like to be the center of attention. But there has to be something that she wants. And then the conflict, which is, I'm guessing, these strange men in the shadows that are looking for her, they're going to be the reason why she's not getting what she wants, I'm guessing. So right now it sounds confusing when you have strange men are scouring her neighborhood, taking every opportunity to threaten her safety. Detectives are appearing to pester her with strange questions, and everything is tied back to the mythical figure Baba Yaga. Why Marion? Is it just Marion, or is it like all the teenagers in that neighborhood? Is it just her, and why? Um, and I feel like it should probably tie into whatever the thing is that Marion wants, or her like that emotional wound that she should be having, because I'm just not getting that. It just seems kind of, I have more questions than I do of like wanting to read it. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little bit confused. Like why are they coming after her? So if you could maybe explain why it's her, or is it just the teenagers in that neighborhood? Like, are all the teens on alert? It doesn't sound like it though. It sounds like it's just Marion.
Or
Um,
maybe I could be wrong, but maybe if the character doesn't know, you could state that they're coming after her and she has no idea why. Like, it depends on what the character. If you wanted to go that route, that might work.
yeah, but there has to be a reason why they're going after her specifically, and it should tie into her desire because
In the
the
query, yes, it should. Yeah.
yeah. So I think you would need to rework this. One, I do like the beginning. I like that she doesn't like to be the center of attention. I do like that. I like that her friend pushed her to dye her hair pink, because going by the title, which I left out, but going by the title, I can see that her pink hair really is seems important to the book, the plot. So I would say you could probably keep that in the beginning and then just answer that question, why her friend pushes her to dye her hair pink. And then also go into what is it that Marion wants more than anything? What is the thing that happens? Like, it doesn't have to be the inciting incident, but something that's going to cause her to have to get involved in this thing that happens. So if these strange men are scouring the neighborhood, looking for her, I mean, that's good, but I feel like there's something missing, like why that they're looking for her. So I feel like if you could fill that in and then go in with these strange men that are looking for her, Um, and then everything tied back to the mythical figure Baba Yaga, which um, I know who Baba Yaga is. Hopefully, other agents will too. Um, but maybe say instead of mythical figure, witch, unless she's not a witch in your book, then I guess just leave it. But most people know her as a witch, right? Baba Yaga. I think she's like a
Well,
witch.
from John Wick, they call him the boogeyman, right? Like from
Yeah.
the
Oh,
movie
that's
John
true.
Wick,
That's true. Okay,
the
that's
Baba
true.
Yaga.
So,
Yeah,
okay. But I know that it was like something to do like with witches. I think I could be wrong, but like in Germany or something. I don't know.
yeah.
I can't remember. So I
Russia, I
would
think.
is it Russia? Okay. So I would focus on what does she want? Why these men are looking after her? Why? I mean, obviously that she has to get involved because they're looking for her specifically, but why? And then let me see. I know that agents don't like you to end that with a question. I know they don't like you to really end the consequences and stakes with the questions. You have it stated like, will she be able to keep her calm and claw her way back to normality? Or will the strangers and her own anxiety overcome her and drag her into the shadows? I think you could change that to a statement. I know that agents prefer it to be a statement instead of a question. I think it used to be if you read like older books, it does have questions, but I think nowadays they would like for us to end it as a statement, make it as a statement. Um, the I like your personal touch about uh you being a neurodivergent person and then wanting to see protagonists solve their problem. I love that. I think that's great. And I think that you should keep that because I think that's good and lets the agent know to gives a little bit more insight into your story and like why you chose to write this particular story. So I love that. I think that's great.
Hmm.
Um, the your comps. So you have two comps here. The Dresden Files, just so you know, are an adult urban fantasy, and your book is a YA. You kind of want to keep your comps. If you're going to do comps, you want to keep them in the same in that same genre. So you really want to pick like a YA book.
Yeah.
Um, and then Skullduggery Pleasant. I hadn't heard of this series, but I looked it up, and I believe it started in the early 2000s. I think the last book was like 2000 or 2020, maybe. I'm not sure, but um, so and I didn't get a chance to really look to see what that series was about. But I think you need to come up with different comps, current comps, and in the same genre. And then also, you write the novel can even tempt those readers back with its series potential. I would just say that this is a standalone with series potential. Instead of saying the novel can even tempt those readers back with its series potential, just say that it's standalone with series potential. I think that'd be better.
Yeah, I think that's a
Um,
standard.
yeah, that's the standard. Yes. Also, let me see. Um, I don't think you need the last paragraph here about TikTok, about braving, interacting with book talk or things like that. Unless you have like a really high social, a really high following. But I feel like you should probably focus more on your character's desire, the conflict, the stakes, the consequences, and how she's going to overcome them, and then your own personal biography, like how you wrote that you're a neurodivergent person. But I think that you can get rid of that last paragraph about TikTok. I would keep that your English is a second language. I would keep that just because if that wasn't in here,
Well, he's
um,
an English as a second language teacher.
he's a longtime English yes, second language
Yes.
teacher. So I could tell by reading it, like there were some sentences that were probably um, that could be tweaked, but because English is your second language, I think it's like forgivable.
No, no, English is his first language. He's a second language teacher.
Oh, English. He's the longtime English. Well, he says
As a
I'm a longtime English. Oh, a second language teacher.
as
Okay,
a second,
as a
yeah,
second
as
like okay.
second language teacher.
So then I would go in and maybe do a proofread of your query because you
Yeah.
do have a misspelled word at the top. It says, "Well, the spotlight might be you say it scary with two R's." So I would fix that. And then you say what she should really be scared. You use scary and scared kind of back to back. I would take out scared, maybe say terrified or something, instead of using scary and scared back to
And
back.
even the bottom paragraph where it says, "I'm a longtime English as second language," that reads weird as hell.
Yeah,
Um,
it confused me. So
yeah,
I
it messed
I
me up for a second too. I'm like, "Yeah, English is his second language." And I'm like, "Hey, no, wait a minute. I think
yeah,
it's missing an
so
in there or something."
yeah, so it's a little I would just go back and just go do a proofread.
Yeah,
I think there's programs like oh my god, just what's the one that you can put? It's free. It'll check your spelling and Grammarly.
yes,
Grammarly?
Grammarly.
Yes.
It's free, yeah. Yep.
So
You can
you
get a free
can
version.
copy and paste this into Grammarly, even in the free version, and it should help you point out those errors because some of the sentences do read a little off. And let's see. So yeah, I would try to get new comps. Um, I think the 60,000 words is great for a YA urban fantasy. I think it's kind of just right there.
Yeah.
A sweet spot there, so that's good. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Ken, before we get into the first pages?
No, just the basic rundown. First line, cool as hell. Love that, Jackson.
Mhm.
Number two, a little more specific. Baba Yaga, like, why are they after her? Maybe add that in. Other than that, and some like, it looks pretty good. Besides those things, and maybe some lines that you could maybe clean up a little bit, or and the bottom paragraph needs to probably be cut a little bit, but that's my take on it. So
Yeah, I agree. And then also, okay, so going to the first pages are Marion works in a library and she's trying to get out. The library's going to be closing and she doesn't want to interact with people. She kind of just wants to get out, finish her job so she can go home. And she ends up bumping into, I'm guessing, a friend because they know each other. Her friend Maddie, I think it is. Um, and then her friend's trying to get a contact with her. She doesn't have her phone on her, and Maddie's kind of like, yeah, like basically she's kind of like a goody two shoes. She never has her phone on her at work. And then she wants to tell her something, and they get interrupted by a man who's acting a little bit odd, acting a little weird. There's a car that goes by that almost hits them. She kind of jumps out of the way, and this man's like, hey, did you guys notice that car? It's been following me too. He's kind of acting kind of weird.
yeah,
And then it sort of ends with something. She starts to get cold while she's talking to this man. She feels like this cold blast, like really really cold, more than normal cold. And then when he leaves, she feels warm again, she asks her friend, hey, did you feel how cold it just got right now? And she says, yeah. So I think that's a good beginning. Again, I would run it through a spell check and a grammar check. There were a few things that needed to be corrected. You have capitalization where there shouldn't be. Just looking at the third paragraph, she peeked from between the stacks. You have peeked capitalized, which isn't
and
easy to
long
fix.
long enough to confirmed, which is
Yes, and
another
that
like
and
minor
that
thing.
too. Mhm.
Yeah,
Excuse me. So I would again go put your chapter through some sort of a spell check or Grammarly check just to make
yeah,
sure those
just
sentences are
Grammarly.
those sentences are really good. Or if you have a critique partner, have them look it over, do a line read. You can also Ken and I met on critiquematch.com. That's free. It's a
Yeah,
free site, guys, and you can find a critique partner on there. And sometimes you can ask to do a line by line read so that they can correct some of the grammar and
hmm,
they can look for things like that.
yeah.
So, which is it's just good, and which you should have a critique partner reading over your work. Let me see. The other thing was, um, I wouldn't say that I was curious. by the end of that, but especially with the man, he was acting odd. But I didn't feel like I got to know Marion well enough in those first 3 pages, if that makes sense. I didn't feel that I connected with her. And I'm not saying that it isn't interesting, but I just reading this, I didn't. I just would like to know more about her. What does she dream about? What are her wishes and wants and desires? What does she want out of life? You start off the story with the librarian, I'm guessing, or their closing. And so we're getting right into the scene right away, which is great. But I always like to just know a little bit more and get a little bit more inside the character and just get them
You wanna
to,
hear her voice more, yeah?
yeah,
Just a little bit more.
and just to get to know her a little bit more so that I know a little bit of this person that I'm about to go on this journey with,
Yeah,
right? Help me to care about her. I will say in these first 3 pages, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that I cared enough. So I would say maybe just go in a little bit more with that interiority just so that we can get to know her a little bit more.
yeah.
Um, but I was curious with the man who's acting odd. I was thinking, what's what this guy's acting kind of weird type of thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like the man being weird for sure.
Yes, so I do love that, and I would say keep that for sure. I mean, obviously, but I mean, I would just go a little bit deeper with your character just to really pull your reader in or the pull that agent in as well, because that's what you're
Yeah,
trying to do is get an agent. You really want that agent to just be like, "Oh, I love this girl. I want to know more about this girl." I'm not getting that right now. And
yeah,
it's also missing in the query as well. So I want to know a little bit more about your main character.
yeah, and that's a
So
really difficult thing to do for some people, and I had trouble doing it myself, so,
yes, I'm
you know.
currently struggling with that with my current work in progress, Jackson. So you're
Yeah,
not alone.
no,
It is a hard thing to do,
it's
but
difficult to, like, nuanced and, like, weave in little things that can make someone be like, "Oh, this girl's cool," or, "Oh, I can't wait to see what happens to her," like, it's
to
so
care,
difficult.
yeah, you want them to care. So you want that
Yeah,
agent to just be like, I
right
really
away.
care about her right away. And I'm just not getting that. So, and
Yeah,
I honestly feel like just a little deeper dive into her character, into her interiority will help. And then
and I mean this
also,
in the nicest way ever, sorry to interrupt, but the
no, it's
nicest
okay.
way ever, it's almost generic, like, she could be any high school girl anywhere, like, there's nothing that makes her unique there that I'm picking up from reading over the so, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I think it's good. I mean, I would love to know more about the men in the shadows, more about Baba Yaga and the supernatural journey that she's about to go on. The query feels a little vague. So I think that you could just put a little bit more details. So Jackson,
Yeah,
I want to invite you um, to revise this if you're comfortable sending it again to our email and we'll look through it again. We don't have to read it over on air. It could just be through email. But I just want to invite you that if you revise this, that you can send us the revised version and we can go through it again if you'd like. But other than that, thank you
that'd
so
be
much.
cool.
Jackson says that we can find him on his website. And I can't believe I didn't grab that. So let me do that now.
Okay, no worries.
um, he has a website, and then I believe he says you can find him under the same name. So let me just get that for you, Jackson.
Alright,
Okay,
well,
he
she
says
gets that, but
it's, oh, I found it. It's
oh, okay, good.
his website is wordybeast.wordpress.com, and he says you can also find him on social media as Wordy Beast. So if you want to search him up, I think he's on Twitter and Instagram
How do you spell
and
wordy? Is it with an I or a Y?
with a Y.
Okay,
Wordy Beast. So yeah, so Jackson, thank you so much for sending in your query in your first pages. I hope that this was helpful.
I hope so.
And again, yes, we invite you to resubmit if you'd like, and we'll take a look at it again. But yeah,
Would love
thank you
to,
so
yeah.
much.
I think
Yes.
you got all the bases here, just a little
Yes.
bit more polish, so
Yes. Yes. I agree. All right. So I know we talked about our week briefly. We were texting earlier this week, so we were texting about our current struggle. You
Oh
guys,
yeah,
the imposter syndrome strikes again with
it
me. I
does.
have been struggling and struggling and struggling. It's so bad.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here questioning myself.
same.
I've been. I didn't hardly get any writing done. I think maybe I got like 300 words in 2 weeks. And I'm not joking. And it
Yeah,
was like sentences, like just here and there and there. I don't know. I just kept I was in my head too much.
yeah.
I
It
was in my
happens
head.
to all of us.
And I know, Ken, I don't know about with you with the imposter syndrome, but I know that you were struggling a little bit this week.
Oh, I've been
Did you,
struggling since July.
I know,
I've been 6 months.
I know. Why
Oh,
is it? It's so crazy. I've been in the same boat, and it's
yeah.
so annoying. I was talking to my husband. I'm like, I'm like, I'm a bad writer. I'm a terrible writer. I can't finish this book.
Same. Yeah, yeah, same. I felt the same way. My last book I thought was my best work yet, and like it sounded good. It sounded good, and then when I didn't even get a request, I was heartbroken, and I'm still a little heartbroken from that. And it's been 5 months later, you know.
Yeah, no,
So
I 100% understand.
yep.
It
And
sucks.
so I'm just in this weird dark place. Like, why waste my time to do it again? But I know you have to push through. I'm
You
aware of
do.
that. You
Yes.
need to just F and do it. Like, just write the goddamn thing. But I can't. Like, you know, I maybe got 2,500 words in the past 2 weeks.
Wow, that's good though. I mean, that's
It's
pretty good,
not.
I think.
For me,
Well,
I
yeah,
wrote
but
14,000 in 2 weeks was horrible for me. It was low. I used to write almost 20K a week sometimes, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. We need to get it out of our head. I've been telling myself this too, even all day today. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding you. I sat in front. Today was my day off, and so in the morning, I sat in front of my computer and I just stared at this and stared at it. I was just staring and going, I don't know what else. I don't know where to go. I'm not stuck like in the story. Like the story isn't stuck. I'm stuck.
Yes.
If that makes
Oh,
sense.
oh, my story's not stuck at all, but I'm stuck too. Yeah.
Yeah, like I have everything's plotted and planned. And I'm just like sitting there and I'm like, this is crap. Like this is gonna be such crap. No one's gonna want to read. I'm like telling myself over and over, and then I'm like trying to talk myself out of it. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
this, the
I don't
imposter
know.
syndrome is just it's so debilitating. It's the first time this has ever happened to me. Well, no, not the first time actually. I lie. I
Yeah.
went through this last year. Didn't I go through this last year?
Last
Oh my
December.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? The fucking holidays.
It is. The holidays get here and you're so stressed out that you're like, fuck it. I'm terrible.
Oh my god. Well, you know what I will say too, maybe I don't know, maybe other writers are out there thinking the same way, but like working, Christmas shopping, Thanksgiving
Yeah.
prepping, all that shit, my kids made me decorate like the day after Halloween. I was like
Yeah.
decorating, well, trying to make my husband's dinner and birthday dinner and just like
Oh,
just
yeah.
crazy, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I don't know. I just like ever since, well, no, before that though, too. I've just been stumped with this book, but I don't know. I just
Yeah.
telling you, it's killing me. It's killing me.
Mhm.
But I looked it up just to kind of be like, well, how do we get out of this funky imposter syndrome shit that happens?
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, I mean, one of the things I found was like focusing on how far you've come, right?
Yeah.
Like I've written 5 books and I was telling myself there's a lot of people that can't even finish one and I did 5. So I'm
Yeah.
like, that's pretty good, right? And not to that sounds bad, actually. That sounds really bad. I don't nothing against a person that can't write a book. But I'm just saying, like, I've
Yeah.
written 5 books, whereas others haven't been able to even write one. So, and I
Correct.
know that I can do it. I know, I mean, I've got the whole story's plotted out and ready to go. I'm just stuck in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Same. the last one did so poorly, I just can't write the next one because I'm
But
like, what's the point?
well, the book didn't do poorly. Let's be real. The book didn't do poorly. It's just like it's not in front of that right agent that wants it. And that's
Yeah,
what I keep trying to tell myself too. I'm like, it really is all about finding that agent that's like, yeah, I want to read this. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well,
And
I just got so hyped up because even I have a couple ball buster critique partners, like they're brutal as hell.
oh
Like
God.
they're brutal. They're like hardcore fantasy sci-fi guys, and they don't give a shit about your feelings at all. They will drop kick you in the nuts in a
Oh
heartbeat.
my God.
And they loved my last book, and I was like,
Oh,
"Oh shit, if I'm making these dudes that hate everything happy."
you know
But it
what?
is what it is.
No, I really do think that that book is really amazing. And it's just all about finding that right agent. Um, I don't know. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. If
I
you're
know.
listening and you're feeling the same way and you're thinking I'm going through the same thing, Ken and I are right there with you,
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah.
Well,
I only got 24 or 25,000 in this newest project. What are you at?
I think I have what did I say, 27,
I
28. Hold
think
on,
so.
I have it up here. Hold on.
Okay.
I have 28, almost 29,000 words.
Damn.
I know, but like I don't know. Today I know I've talked about this before. Like I'm a pacer, and I know I've told you
Yeah.
guys like I will pace back and forth. So today I was like, "Hey, what's my problem? Like what's the problem? Is it the story? Is it me?" I think it might be a combination of both. This current story I'm doing, I have I think five characters or
Yeah.
yeah, five characters, one main character. And I don't know if it's just because I don't know enough about every single one of those characters or if it's just the premise that I don't know enough about. So I can't figure out what it is. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if it's a combination of both, and I think it's also that feeling of I don't think I have the chops to pull it off because it's
Mm,
kind of like a mystery. It's a bit supernatural. It's a bit mystery, and I
yeah.
just want to make sure that I'm getting all those right elements, the red herrings, the like just making it
Yeah.
interesting enough. And it's hard.
Oh yeah.
It's so hard, and I'm doubting, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, maybe I need to do, like, a bulletin board."
You should maybe that's a good idea. Get a cork board in your where you write and just map
Yeah,
everything out. That'd be pretty cool,
yeah,
probably for you.
because I don't know, I feel like it's just really it's boring. Like,
Yeah.
it's boring, and I think I'm just not hitting the right notes if it's gonna be a mystery novel. I think that's the other thing too, is I can't decide if it's gonna be a mystery or fantasy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, like, I need to pick one,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of, like, trying to do both, and it's just not I think that's what it is too, is it's not
Mm,
working. Well, I don't know.
yeah.
It's
Well, it was
hard, it's
it was the
hard.
same thing with my last fantasy. If like that shit was so in depth because I invented everything, like
Yeah,
the
mhm.
currency, the religions,
Yeah,
the
it was
names, the
a lot
powers,
of world building. Yeah.
I have notes lists. It's like fuck. I think it's like 10 pages long of notes on a
Oh
separate
my
note.
god.
Like I know everything, and like it. And then I went over my normal word count. I wrote like 130,000 words or some shit when I was trying to aim for like 80 to 100. And
Yeah. But for epic fantasy, that fits, right? I think that's close.
yeah, it
Yeah, it's very
does.
close. Yeah.
But I feel like I was so drained afterwards because I didn't think I could pull it off because it was so intricate. There's so many things I had to hit just right. And then I did, and I actually pulled it off and was excited. And then I got
Yeah.
no request. This is why
Ugh.
5 months later, I'm just like, what's the point?
Well,
you know?
I know I was trying to think like I don't know. Well, your issue isn't so much with your current whip. Where your issue is the past one that you just didn't get the requests, right? Because
Yeah,
your current book is pretty great. I mean, I read you sent me the first what was it, 5 chapters, I think,
3 chapters. Yeah,
or was it three? Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that was really good. I mean, I was feeling it. I was into it.
yeah. I thought it was boring as hell because it's not as
Did you?
cool and outlandish as the other one. So it's
No,
partially the new thing.
yeah, well, yeah. Well, I think mine is a little bit, I don't know, weird, but I don't know.
I
So,
liked what I
what
read. Like it was cool what I read. I still haven't gotten to the third chapter. I've just been so
Oh yeah, no worries.
I'll
No, but
get
I was
to
just
it.
thinking we need to set a goal for you and I. Okay.
Yeah.
I know you don't do NaNoWriMo. I don't know.
No.
You don't do NaNoWriMo, right? Well, it
No,
is
I
so it
I
is.
I just write 365,000 words a year. So NaNoWriMo is all year for me.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, like, because for the month of November, like, they try to shoot for
Yeah.
that 50,000, whatever, right? So you start a
Yeah.
new novel and then shoot for that 50,000.
I do that normally,
Um,
I think,
yeah.
when I'm on.
So, well, so obviously, we can't query these new ones. And I think you and I have talked about this before. It's like if we can't query, even if we finished in a month, we wouldn't be able to query because agents would go on vacation. They're pretty much
No.
December's
Yeah.
dead.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, like, I won't query till probably January, February next year.
right. So yeah, just so you guys know, if you're listening and you're a newbie writer and you're thinking you're gonna query in like the holidays, don't.
Don't.
Because most agents they're not even in the office. They're like, or
They
they're not
take
even
December off.
yeah, they take December off. It's all about the holidays and they typically, and some agencies will say like they're closed until January.
Yeah, they
So
won't even be open. They'll close their portals and everything, so,
yeah,
you got till about the week of Thanksgiving. If you get it in
and that's
before
it.
then, you're good. If not,
After
wait
that,
till
forget
next
it.
year.
Forget it.
So,
Yes.
I have 441 South almost done edited, by the way. It
Oh,
was my very first
nice.
novel, so I'm gonna
Oh,
get that
nice.
in before Thanksgiving, and so I
So
can get rejected again.
oh
No, I'm
no,
joking.
don't say that. Don't say that. That's so funny because I was thinking of going back to my first novel, my first book,
Mhm.
and see if I should just go clean that up and fix it because I'm not loving. I think the thing is I'm just not loving this new book. Like I don't know, but and I'm like, well, you know what? I got 2 months because I can't query anything new right now. I can't.
Yeah.
I could finish this one. I could probably finish it by mid-December. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Holidays are fucking busy for me.
Yeah, you won't.
It's really crazy. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I just need to go back and clean up that first book and just see
I'm
if
gonna
I can
clean up
get
all
it.
my old books because I think they all had I thought they were all really cool stories and characters were cool, but I wasn't technically sound enough
Yes. Like my first
to
one's missing
complete them.
interiority.
Yeah. So, honest to God, I think everything about the books I've written have been good except for the technical side, the writing side.
Yeah. The stories, you mean the
I
premise and
yeah,
yeah.
the stories, the characters were all pretty cool. Like I think they would be really cool stories.
Yeah.
And I think now I'm advanced enough to technically bring them out where they need to be.
And that's kind of what I've been thinking about with my first book. I have all that world building, the magic, like everything, and I
Yeah,
know what's missing. I'm missing the interiority of my main character because I
yeah,
didn't know shit back then.
yeah. And a touch of description and interiority.
Yeah. So, should we make a goal? What should we do a goal, you and I or everyone listening? Like, should we finish our current by the end of the year? Or
Oof.
should we go back and clean up some old
I'm
You
doing
said
both.
oof. What do you mean? Are you doing both?
No, I'm doing both.
Okay. How the heck do you find time? I'm just like sitting
I
here like,
chose I chose my
"Ah."
profession for a reason.
Yes, I know. Yes, it's true.
Um, Saturday, Sunday, I'm in an office by myself all day, and I do have some stuff to do and patrols to do. Like
Yeah.
I end up walking like 10,000 steps around the warehouse that day, and I have trucks to do. But there's downtime. There's pockets of like hour here, an hour there, an hour here. That's where I find the time. I do it
Okay.
while I get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. I can't do
Yes.
that. So I guess I'm just gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'll just figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I should just continue with this one and get as close to finish as I can
Yes.
before
Finish
the
it.
end of the year. Finish it.
Finish it. Finish it.
Oh, well, I might be sending you my pictures, my chapters as I go, so you could tell me like, nope, this isn't working, or no, just
Yeah.
like I don't know, just tell me if it's working, tell me if it's boring. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't
Then
know.
I'll send you my
Maybe,
chapters too.
yeah,
Well,
maybe you can help me figure out what it is I'm missing because I
yeah.
just can't figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, okay. Well, you know what? I'll just do that. I'm just gonna do that. I'll have to just suck it up
Just suck it up and get it done. And then I can suck it up and get it done so I can write Karen.
Yes, because I literally want to read that book. I'm actually looking forward to read that book. But
yeah, Mindy Darling. I love Mindy Darling.
But... yes, and I said that you should have wrote that first.
Yes, but this new one I think is actually pretty fun. Like I
No,
like
actually,
Ray
yeah.
a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I
She's
do
fun.
too. I thought she was
And
very, very spicy.
And she just rescued a donkey, and I love Danville. That's his name.
All right. Well, maybe I'll see if I can get to I wonder if I can get to 35 or 40,000 by December, maybe.
If you fucking challenge me, I'll fucking write 2,000 a day. I'll have the shit done by fucking December 1st.
Well, I can't do 2,000 a day, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe if I really just have to get really focused on it, I guess.
On a good day, on a real good day, I can write 3,000-4,000 words.
Gosh, that's amazing. That's so crazy. Well, yeah, but you get to do it from work, so I definitely cannot write at work.
I'm getting paid to write.
And I love that for you because I know that they were pretty excited. That's why they hired you. So that's really cool.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did because they had people that they hired before that had no hobbies
that were quitting,
and they would go fucking insane because they had to sit for 13 hours in an office, in a warehouse.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
So they loved me for being a writer.
Well, must be nice, I guess. Okay, well, I'll just I'm gonna try to shoot to do some writing every day. I'll try to see what I can do. I do get tired when I get home from work, but I think I need to stop making excuses and just do it.
Yep, just sit down and write it. Nobody's ever gonna read it anyway. That's what I tell myself.
Well, you're gonna read it because I'm sending it to you as soon as I'm done with the chapter. Here you go.
Oh, I'm gonna read it, and you're gonna read my shit. But I mean, I'm never getting
anybody out there. Yeah.
I'm never getting published, so fuck it.
Stop! Don't say that. Oh my gosh! Don't say that.
That's how I write. That's how I write.
All right. Well,
it allows me to write because who gives a shit if this character?
So I was reminded today that a lot of the times writers they will say write the story for yourself and bonus points if other people want to read it. And so I think that I just want to focus on that because I did when I first started was like I do want to read about this. I haven't read a story like this, and I would like to mesh these two types of genres and read them. So I think that today I was thinking about that today, and I'm like, I wanted to read this book. I wanted to. That's why I started writing it. And if no one does, well, then I'll just I have another story that I'm going to start that I'm actually looking forward to writing that one. There's just some world building that I got to figure out, but other than that,
Yeah.
So yeah. So.
I wrote 1,000 today, so I was pretty happy about that today, and edited a chapter. So
that's great. Oh my gosh!
It was the 6 days before that I didn't write at all.
Well, I wrote I think 150 words today.
Hey,
maybe 50.
Better than zero. Better than zero.
I guess. Yeah, it's true. Whatever.
It is. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna write the story that I want to read, and then we'll see what happens, but I'll probably be sending you them along as I go, just so you can, I know I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is that it's missing, and maybe you'll be able to point it out for me. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, guys, this is a short episode, but I really hope that you guys, hopefully you were sitting there thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. But you know what? Let's just pull ourselves out of this little, I don't know, hole that we're in, this little funk that we're in. Let's just get out of it. Let's finish the year strong. Finish that. If you're in the middle of writing something, let's just finish it. And then come January, maybe we'll all be querying.
Yeah, funk this
shit. All right, you guys. Well, you guys have a good rest of the couple. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. So enjoy your rest of your week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode, friends. We hope you learned something new today. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube under Two Writers Walk Into a Bar podcast. Our YouTube episodes will upload on Thursdays, the day after the show airs, if you want to watch. And if you want your query letter in first 3 pages critiqued and read on air by us, send it to our email at twowritersinabar@gmail.com. Put query on air in the subject line. We will read them on a first come, first served basis. Remember, we are here to help, inspire, and celebrate. Two Writers Walk Into a Bar podcast is produced by Brava Media Group.